Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's David Wray, and welcome back to Just Born Movies, where we take movies straight out of the Hollywood womb and dissect them for you. Today, my special examiner guest is the man of constant hatred himself, Paul Workman.
Too sweet.
So, Paul, let's start with our preliminaries, where we just talk about what we were expecting, what we saw.
All right. So we saw Tully, starring Charlize Theron and Mackenzie Davis. It is a film about a mother of three who ends up hiring a night nurse to take care of her new child. They bond together and they become quick friends.
Do you know what a night nanny is? They take care of the baby at night so mom and dad can get some sleep.
I don't want a stranger in my house. It's like a Lifetime movie where the nanny tries to kill the family and the mom survives and she has to walk with a cane at the end.
Get over yourself.
So, what was your expectations going in?
Honestly, my expectations were really high for this film. I'm a big fan of the writer Diablo Cody and Jason Reitman, the director, who both did Juno and Young Adult together. Jason Reitman also directed Up in the Air. Diablo Cody did Jennifer's Body, which is an okay film. But the two films they've done together to this point are phenomenal. And Young Adult starred Charlize Theron, so I was really excited to see what the three of them were going to do together here.
I went in completely blind. I didn't even know the one-sentence explanation of the movie. I just knew it had Charlize Theron, and it was entitled Tully. That was it. That's all I knew going in. So,
I mean, do you really need anything else?
I think a better selling point for me would have been Mackenzie Davis versus Charlize Theron, but, hey.
Honestly, Mackenzie Davis to me at this point, going into this movie, Mackenzie Davis is, hey, it's that one chick.
Yeah.
From now on, she's Mackenzie Davis.
So, yeah, those were kind of the expectations going in. There wasn't you had high expectations. I had literally zero expectations. And then we got into the movie, and I kind of wish we had that camera for, the first half hour of it on you, because it was like a roller coaster of emotion on your face.
I was literally everywhere at the beginning of this film. This film does not sugarcoat parenthood in the slightest. This film gave me horrible anxiety.
Mom, what's wrong with your body?
I mean, I felt the tension, and it was great on the filmmaker's part, because I felt it too, and I'm not a parent. You know, I felt that tension, and I felt the stress levels from the parents, in not just sitting next to me in the theater, but on the screen especially.
Yeah.
They did a great job capturing that.
They did. They did a wonderful job. And they did so much to kind of de-glamorize parenthood. They obviously want people to feel like they're not alone if parenthood is not easy to them, and it's not an easy thing to do. And if it is easy for you, I'm really happy for you. But if it's not, this film really shows your story, and I'm so grateful for this film existing.
Obviously, she's not a single mother. She does have a husband, played by Ron Livingston,
who most of you may know from Office Space. He's the main character in that film.
And she has a odd brother, I guess. Odd brother and sister-in-law.
Her brother played wonderfully by Mark Duplass from, again, most of you may know him from The League. I'm a big fan of he and his brother make films together. They have a couple of shows on HBO.
So also, one of the things we both joked about was she was that girl in that one thing with Mackenzie Davis. Mackenzie Davis also stars in Izzy Gets the Fuck Across Town this year,
which I really want to see. So.
And she plays Izzy. So that was one of those movies that didn't make the cut when it first came out, because there were some other movies that came out that we put higher on the list, I think.
Yeah, but we haven't gotten it yet, so we haven't gotten a chance to see it. So I really want to see it, and I hope I get to see it by our mid-year wrap-up, so I could talk about it.
Yeah, especially now that we've seen Mackenzie Davis in this role, I think she did a really good job with it.
And she's so good. She's kind of like the manic pixie dream girl. She shows up and she's so twee and flighty, and she's dropping all these references to things, and she just seems like this almost like perfect young woman. And she's obviously there to kind of serve as a juxtaposition to Charlize Theron's character,
Absolutely,
which
yeah.
I absolutely loved. The two play off of each other so well, and they have such great chemistry. And you see Charlize Theron kind of start living vicariously through her, and reliving her past as the film goes along, and it's wonderfully done.
Yeah, absolutely. What didn't work for you? Anything in this movie?
Honestly, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything that didn't work for me. I love the acting, and I love the way it was shot. I think Jason Reitman really knows how to frame characters. He and Diablo Cody take such mundane characters and make them feel huge. They make them feel important on so many levels, and it goes. It's a big credit to their style of storytelling that they're able to take. In Juno, she's just a young girl in high school who's been impregnated, and her story feels so immediate, and it feels so important. And it's the same with this. She's just and they pointed out so much in the film. She's just a normal mother in a normal household with pretty much normal children.
A normal routine.
Yeah,
You're going to get up and do the same thing.
Yeah, and there's so many montages of the routines but it feels so important. It feels like this story needs to be told right now. And I honestly can't think of anything off the top of my head that didn't work for me in this film, because even where the film ends up, I thought was a beautiful reflection of how you shouldn't lose yourself as a parent, and how you should remember who you are, because it's just as important to remember who you are to help take care of your children.
Like, early on it was slow paced because, again, I didn't go in with any real knowledge or anything for me, so there's a lot of the setup was kind of slow paced for me, but I think it was a necessary setup. Once we really got into learning about the characters and their interactions and everything, the film came alive to me. I mean, it was definitely a switch to me. Like, when I went in, I was like, I have no idea. It started, I was like, am I really sitting here? And then probably 15 minutes in, I was like, this is getting interesting. This is getting good. And after that, I was like, I wanted to know what was going on, what was going to happen, how these characters were going to grow and evolve.
Right, and it's a really funny film too. There's a lot of laughs in this, and they pretty much all land. It's really dark, and they make some really obscure references that I think even of the three of us, there were a few where I was the only one laughing at.
Probably. But yeah, overall, like you said, I think it was beautifully shot. Color work was great. Like, you could see the warmth and the coldness that they were trying to portray, depending on the emotions.
Right.
The secondary and tertiary characters, they felt real enough to provide substance to the story.
Right, and everybody who's introduced adds something to the story, even if you don't get many scenes with them. They do something to affect Charlize Theron's character in some way.
Yeah.
Like, they don't feel static. Everybody moves the story to where it needs to go.
Yeah, nobody felt like just a plot point either. They still felt like a character. Music is nothing to write home about, but it's there.
Yeah, I feel like any score just kind of sits under the background. It's really more of the needle drops that are supposed to evoke the emotion in this film. There's a few good ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this isn't like Duel of the Fates and Phantom Menace. We're not getting those John Williams moments where you hear something and it evokes a memory or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's a solid score.
Yeah.
A lot of Cyndi Lauper at one point. This movie is so well put together. There's nothing really to pick apart or needle one way or the other. So yeah, I guess that just brings us to the examiner's report there. Final thoughts, closing remarks. Coming out of the movie, versus going in, how did you feel?
It is one of those very, very, very rare occasions where I feel not only was the hype completely deserved from my own brain, but it far exceeded it in every way that I thought it could. Like I said, there's some things that happen towards the end of the film that really spoke to me personally, but I feel like will speak to a lot of people who see this film that are especially parents, or people who are maybe thinking about becoming parents. So this is a really, really good watch. The acting's all great. The directing is just phenomenal. Cinematography, the script is on point, and Diablo Cody, I think, might be at her best, which is saying a lot because Young Adult was in my top 20 the year it came out, and Juno was in my top 20 the year it came out, and this might end up in my top 10 depending on what we get later on this year.
Yeah, I went in with, like I said, zero expectations, almost like I did with Love, Simon, and I came out really impressed with both of those movies. I mean, this movie it did such a great job of even humanizing these characters and telling their story without making it anything over the top, really.
Right.
Which sometimes happens.
Right.
You know, if you liked Juno, if you liked Young Adult, this is just the next one in the list to put on to check off, because definitely go see this.
Yeah.
So, what do you think on our scale? Where are you going to put this one?
I'm sitting here replaying so many things in my head, and I walked out of that film like, I think I might just give this a damn great. No, I love this film. Yeah, this film is damn near perfect.
Yeah, I absolutely have to agree. This is a damn near perfect film. I was doing the same thing, debating between that and damn great, but throughout the day, thinking of it since we watched it and this recording, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing about this movie left me wanting or feeling disappointed. So yeah, it's everything top to bottom, damn near perfect. Let us know what you think of it down in the comments below. Did you love it? Hate it? Did you not get it? Like, we're not getting half of the movies that we want to see. But so, let us know. Like, comment, share. Feel free to visit our Patreon at patreon.com/drinkingagemovies. We're still working to make some original content and keep this thing going. I'd like to thank Paul for once again joining us.
Too sweet.
And until next time, keep rolling.
Mother, mother, can you hear me? I'm just calling to say hello.